Hello, everyone. It is so good to see everyone today. And I am super excited. We have Russ Colliau. We just call him Coach Russ of Renegade Coaching. He has been a Keller Williams Bold coach. He's also done coaching with top companies like EXP, so many other companies. And in his very first year in real estate, he closed 75 transactions, which I was like, my very first year in real estate, I closed 52 transactions. And I was like, oh my gosh, you closed more transactions than me my first year. He also secured 25 listings in his first 90 days in the business. So we are super excited to talk with Russ. Russ, welcome.
Well, thanks for having me, Chantel. It's great to see you.
Great to see you. So first thing I want to ask is, how did you secure 25 listings in your first 90 days of being in the business? That is unbelievable. How did you do it?
So there were a number of pieces going on that got me there. Number one is a big, hairy, audacious why. I had relocated my family to Austin, Texas, to a brand new city, not knowing a soul, with the sole desire goal of being one of the Keller Williams Bold coaches. I literally had made that relocation, liquidated everything in California, moved to Texas before I even auditioned for the role. So commitment is a big part of it. How committed are you? So I got the role. I'm in the process. And about April of that year, the director of the department, Sean Coast, goes, we got to do the paperwork, Russ. And so we sit down to do the paperwork, and it says right at the top that all Bold coaches will have a minimum of 75 units a year for 3 years to be able to apply. And I looked at Sean and said, I'm a home inspector. See, he had never asked. I had never asked. He had seen video of me teaching on national stages, just happened to be a different industry. We never connected the dots. So I had to get into production. In a hurry. So I focused, and that's what it comes down to, all day. Once I got my license, it was all day, every day, having conversations, looking for real estate. Now, to get to 25 listings in my first 90 days, I focused on expireds and for sale by owners. I mean, expireds have already raised one hand and say, I want to sell. Just another agent crushed their dreams. And they've already said, I'm willing to pay a commission. And FSBOs are already wanting to sell. So you've got a huge group of people there that you can be having conversations and ongoing conversations. That was probably, Chantel, the other big gap for most people. I'd reach out to an expired and they would say, we're just not ready yet at this moment. I'd reach back to him another week. I'd reach back to him. I have one gentleman that it was 14 months of weekly conversations. And then when he was finally ready to sell, he said, well, I damn well better list it with you or I'm never going to hear the end of it.
Well, let's just do the conversation. Let's just do a quick call of what did you do and first, did you use like Vulcan 7 or Red X, or what was the platform you used to get the contact information? And then tell us exactly what you said to the for sale by owner and what did you say to the expired?
Awesome. And so the data set that I was using 10 years ago was Land Voice, still around today. I know Red X is also doing amazing stuff, and I've got a relationship with Red X now. So the data sets are there. And then the dialing platform I used is what is now called Prospect Boss. It used to be called Sales Dialers. It is a great multi-line dialer. And the key on this is just continuing to stay in the conversation. The part that I really work with all of my coaching clients on initially is continuing to build a database and a list and consistently following up. We're all focused on right now business. I got to do a deal today. And that's how we treat everybody transactionally. You start treating people relationally and magic happens. So you talked about for sale by owners. I took a radically different approach. I'm having a conversation about them, their needs, their story, and where I can help them actually be a for sale by owner. 94% of for sale by owners ultimately list with an agent. That's the statistics. And they'll list with someone who actually was willing to help. So if you want to play with that conversation, Chantel, I'm happy to.
Yeah, let's do it right now.
Awesome. Ring.
Hi.
Yes, I'm out in front of a house, 123 Main Street, sign in the yard. Am I speaking with the owner?
Yes, this is Chantel.
Awesome, Chantel. Well, this is Russ Colliau. I am with ABC Real Estate and was driving.
Let me tell you right now, I am not looking to list my home. That's exactly why I did it for sale by owner. I'm not interested. Unless you have a buyer, then don't even call me because you're the 14th person that I've talked to today and I'm not having it.
So it sounds like you've had a heck of a lot of real estate agents just calling to take care of themselves, haven't they?
I really have. It's just gotten so frustrating.
I absolutely get that. Real estate agents can be frustrating, can't they?
They really can.
Imagine if you had to deal with them all day, every day, like I do.
Yeah.
That being said, what can you tell me about the house? Because obviously I see you've taken great care of it from the front. What's going on inside?
Well, it's gorgeous. It's 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and we've completely remodeled everything. And honestly, we don't have enough equity right now to pay an agent. So what we're selling it for, if we want to make some kind of profit on it, I wouldn't be able to also pay you. So we've kind of crunched the numbers and that's why we're not using one.
And I absolutely understand that. Now, it sounds like just from the way you answered, you are willing to pay a buyer agent commission. Is that correct?
Yes, but we just don't have the money to pay a listing agent.
Totally. I get that. So curious, how long have you been on the market?
It's only been like 2 weeks and we've had a lot of interest.
2 weeks, a lot of interest. And how many calls have you got?
Oh my gosh, they've all been from agents. We've had a couple people who are buyers, but they've just been so many agents, and that's why I just can't take it anymore.
I absolutely get that. And you've had those some real folks call. How many showings have you had?
Probably about 5.
5 showings, and how many offers so far?
None.
No offers yet. Okay. Any idea what's getting in the way of getting an offer?
Everyone says they love it, but no one's just made an offer yet.
Yeah, I get that. And most people, especially if they're dealing directly with the owners, are they really going to tell you they don't like it? I mean, would you do that to somebody if you went through their house and it was the home they poured into, did all this remodeling? Would you go through and pick it apart in front of them, or would you tell them we really like it and we'll get back to you?
Probably we really like it and we'll get back to you.
So you're just like everybody else. What's interesting with the for sale by owner, there can all be all kinds of challenges. First and foremost, I have a quick question. No cost, no obligation. If I was willing to just come in and do a consult of how you could improve the property potentially, I don't know because I haven't been in it. If I was willing to do that for you, would you be willing to spend the time with me?
Well, that's fine, but I'm just letting you know right now, I am not listing it with an agent. So if you want to come, I'm not going to list it. So you'll be wasting your time because I'm only if you have a buyer. Are we very clear on that?
We are absolutely clear on that. And have I asked you once to list with me?
No.
Okay, so we're both on the same page, right? I'm a firm believer in helping my for sale by owners in my community. And it's for twofold. One, obviously, if you change your mind down the road, you're going to want somebody who actually comes from contribution, aren't you?
Yeah, I have had a couple of the agents that have called me have said that they'll do a free open house on my house and they'll do all the work and get the people in. And there's no requirement. I am willing to let people do that. So would that be something you'd want to do as well?
I might be open yet. I've got to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Did they offer to do an open house, or did they offer to host an open house party?
They just said they would do an open house for me, but I just was so mad that I believe there's going to be some kind of catch to it. So I've said no, but I'm kind of feeling like at this point, maybe I should let them do an open house.
Well, it sounds like with your interest in the open house, as well as your interest in some straightforward feedback on your property, we probably should meet, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I think we should.
So do you prefer weekends or weekdays?
Either is fine. All right, I think that was good. So you did a great job on that. Okay. Now,
And by
yeah.
the way, we're not attempting to sell them on anything. Let's get in there and let's build the relationship. By the way, open house, we don't do open houses. My clients do open house parties. It
Okay.
is radically different. It's an event. It's a huge kickoff for a listing that we will do others. And it sets you apart because what's the purpose of an open house? I love people speaking up. Are they allowed to speak up, Chantel?
No.
Okay.
They can stay in the chat for right now, just because we're recording this.
It's totally fine. What's the purpose of an open house? What do you guys think? Put it in the chat.
Well, I think a lot of them would say to show the property, we've got to get buyers for themselves and see, if they can capture some of those people.
And the real purpose of an open house is to get listings. When done right, that's what you're after. In fact, your sole purpose in life, like it was mine, it was to lead generate for listings. That's how we started. Because listings have babies. They magically create more stuff. They have other buyers, other sellers. So when you do it right, you start picking up more listings. And that's what you should all be after. If you're focused on buyers and doing buyers, God bless you. Chantel, I rarely took on a buyer. I am just not a fan. I don't like them. They take too much time personally. Yes, I've done some. Yes, I'll take care of VIP clients. Most of the time, no, I will use a showing assistant model and have somebody else doing that touring.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. If you've been in the business for any amount of time, you have to. I will tell you guys this, just so you guys know. I worked with 2 buyers in my entire life. Even my mom and my best friend all worked with one of my buyer's agents. And I know you guys are like, your mom and your best friend? Yes, because I know I don't like to drive. And I know I don't have the patience for it because I'm such a high D. I'm like off, you guys know I'm off the charts D on the personality test. So no buyer would ever want to work with me, first of all, because I'm like, what? You don't like it? Like, let's go. I get too frustrated. It's not a good fit. So for me, I'm the same way. I agree. You've got to lead generate for listings. And I love that term, like listings have babies. I love it's so good.
Well, and let's stay on then how we got 25 listings in 90 days.
Yeah.
It comes down to commitment. I was 8-10 hours a day, 5-6 days a week at my standing desk like I am now, on my headset, having conversations if I wasn't on appointments. Your job description, the real estate job description, is to lead generate, lead follow up, go on appointments, negotiate contracts. That's the job description. Lead generate, lead follow up, go on appointments, negotiate contracts. That's in the reverse order of priority. So we schedule them that way. And I can teach you guys the scheduling blocks. Now we do that for everybody in my world. The reality is an appointment trumps lead gen, but if you have no appointments, then you still then are cranking lead gen. So let's just have a little survey by show of hands. Lead generate, lead follow up, go on appointments, negotiate contracts. That's the job description. If you had hired you for the last 6 months to do that job full time, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 days a week, how many of you would be firing you right now? Raise your hands. Yeah, I see Ebony laughing because she knows it's true, right? We're actually just not doing the work. Time on task over time. I have a number of new clients that joined me in December who had 0 pending, nothing on the pending board, who have 5 to 11 pending now because they've been doing the work every day, having the conversations, following a model. All of you have to do it, whether you're a leader or not, because as Chantel and I were talking before here, all of you are lead generating every day, either for consumers and lead gen, lead follow-up. Let's tie those together and call them conversations. You're having conversations for consumers or you're having conversations for talent. Yet every day you should be having conversations to grow that business. That's what I did to get that 25 listings. And it's what I'm doing now in business building, both on the coaching side as well as on the real estate side.
Well, I love what you just said because you're either lead generating for talent or you're lead generating for buyers or sellers. And, at our company, my opinion is that people who are agents with our company should be dividing their time. You should be spending part of your time lead generating for buyers and sellers, but the rest of that time should be really lead generating for talent because that's going to create passive income down the road. So let's go ahead and, well, first, you did a great job on the for sale by owner. I want to just, instead of going through the whole spiel, just give us a couple lines that you use for the expireds before we move on. And then I want you to talk a little bit about what you do to attract agents.
So number one, and then I want to also hit on leads real quick. Number one is when your home does sell, where are you moving to?
Okay.
Find out what their dream was. No one puts their house on the market, gets it prepared, and lets people come hang out all the time, having the kids have all their rooms and everything else made up, if they don't have a dream for where they're going. And you've got to rekindle that dream because the last agent ruined it for him.
That's so good. I'm going to repeat that. I'm going to repeat that because that's so good. So when your home does sell, what is your dream go to? Where do you want to go to? I think that's just so good.
Fine. You'll always find out again. And it's something I taught in the home inspection space when I was coaching home inspectors. Every single real estate transaction that you're dealing in residentially has something else significant going on emotionally in those people's lives. Just consider all of them do. There's either a marriage or a divorce. There's kids moving into the house, as in babies showing up, or there's kids moving out. There's parents moving in. There's something else creating the energy around that move that matters to them. So find out what it is and work on helping them achieve that goal, and the listing will be yours.
So good. All right, let's talk about.
I want to talk leads real quick.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
That's a big thing. And I hear from agents all the time. I need leads. Give me leads. How often do people move, Chantel? Once every how many years?
I would say between 4 to 7 years, once every 4 to 7 years.
4 to 7. So let's be really extreme and go once every 10.
Okay.
We have lazy people in our world. If you're on an iPhone, grab your iPhone. If you're on an Android, grab it. Go to your contacts. And on an Android or on an iPhone, just scroll to the bottom. And on Android, it's usually right at the top and there's a number. So mine, for example, once I clear my search, I have got on this phone. Come on, you fat fingers. There we go. I've got on this phone 1,837 people.
I have 13,703. I thought you beat on something. Hey, you beat me on the.
You're on this. I got less. You have more. Chantel, on that phone right here, in the last 12 months, how many moves existed right on your phone?
So I guess you're saying, let's just pretend there's, let's say 14,000 contacts.
No, use 13,703 because we said once every 10 years to be real extreme. So it's 10%. There are 1,370 moves that happened in the last 12 months right on her phone. The math doesn't lie, which means there's 1,370 going forward in the next 12 months. We just need to develop a communication strategy to touch those folks a minimum of once a quarter. That's what the research shows, 4 times a year, live conversation, as well as another 32 other non-live conversations, either through social media, through direct mail, through email, through newsletters, through whatever. You put that plan together and you will get that business of here. You don't need any other leads first until you've got your database set up and the communication strategy to talk to that database. By the way, it's no different since you brought up the recruiting side either, Chantel. You should have the list of who you want to be in business with, starting with who you know. You've got a system for them, then you can start bringing in the unknowns. All of you know bodies. You've been on this planet 3, 4, 5 decades. Instead of thinking about who you know, I want you to think of who knows you. It's a different conversation. You don't know what their story is about you. Who knows you is where you begin building that database and just start entering into conversations. We can teach you those simple models. I love conversation models. Spend a lot of time with them.
I love it. Okay, so let's talk about if you divided your list up with agents, because obviously, especially people who've been in the business for 10 years, 15 years, they've done all these transactions with people. They should put them in their phone as, whatever their name is, but then put them in as agent. And one trick I learned on the iPhone, if you guys didn't know about this, you can actually put, like, for example, you can put an emoji for, like, I play tennis. So if I want to play tennis with someone and I want to get all my tennis contacts, in the contacts, you can actually put a tennis ball, and then you can actually search all of your tennis contacts, that one tennis ball. It is really cool. So you could do that with agents. You could make just one simple one for buyers. You could put one simple one for sellers. And you can, and then put one for who the agents are. That would be a great technique. And you can pull all those people up for just agents. Okay, so let's have a conversation. Let's pretend I'm an agent that you did a transaction with and you wanted to move them over to Canzel. What would that conversation look like, Russ?
So we have an existing relationship. So this is an existing relationship conversation. And we're going to have a little fun because I'm going to share with you the model for whether it's an agent or a consumer or somebody in your phone or anyone else. There is a 5-step model that you are already doing. We just have to formalize it and stick it in your head to understand. So step 1 is greeting. Hi, it's Russ. You're all doing that, right? And step 5 is getting out of the call. So we know those parts. So let's go to steps 2, 3, and 4. We're going to use, some of you may or may not know, what is called the Ford technique. Ford stands for family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Family includes you or them as well. So step 2 is a Ford question. It's a question-driven conversation. I usually recommend family occupation because those are present tense or past tense. Hey, it's Russ. How are the kids? We're all doing that. Greeting, Ford question. How's business? How are you? You're at a party. My name's Russ. What do you do for a living? You're already doing this. The key after that Ford, and I'm just going to put FO on there, is when they ask about you, step 3 kicks in, which I call the meet in the middle. So let's talk real estate first. You're speaking with someone, you're having a Ford conversation because it's somebody you already have a relationship. They ask you how things are going. Maybe they ask, how is the market? The market's kind of all over the place, and yet my market is awesome. Got amazing things going with buyers and sellers, and I'm growing this year. And so I'm curious, who do you know from work or the kids' school or church or tennis club or pickleball, or just who do you know from A or B, to set those in their mind, who wants to buy a home, sell a house, or invest in real estate anytime in 2023 that I should be helping?
Say that one more time. Say it one more
You
time.
know, from work or the kid's school who wants to buy a home, sell a house, or invest in real estate anytime in 2023 that I should be helping.
Mm.
We're never going to ask them for their business. That's part of the challenge with real estate agents is they think they have to be asking everybody for their business, and now they feel dirty, like they have commission breath because they're asking for something without building a relationship. Instead, you're asking, who can I help? If it's them, they'll raise their own hand. Yeah, you're getting them thinking bigger. You're thinking referrals. No matter what they say, you're giving gratitude. You're thanking them for, hey, I really appreciate you took a moment to think about that. And I know something comes up down the road. We've kind of turned on your radar for me now, and I can count on a phone call from you, can't I? And then get out with another forward question. I always recommend recreation dreams. It's finally warming up. Spring's finally here. What are your plans for this spring? And log all of these notes from the conversation. Write them down. Keep track of all of them because you're going to put them in your CRM. So let's say I ask Heather, hey, Heather, what are you doing this spring? And Heather goes, you know what? We actually have a trip planned. We're going to go to Ole Miss, #1 baseball school, great place to watch a college baseball game. We're going to Oxford, Mississippi in late May. When I call her back in 3 months, because I'm going to talk to everybody 4 times a year, what's the first thing I'm going to ask her about?
That trip.
What's that? So we're going to use this exact same model: greet, forward question, meet in the middle, close out, and then exit the conversation. Same 5 steps for recruiting. So it's someone we know. We might talk about how's business as our forward question. How are things going in your world? How's the real estate game? What's going on? And then my favorite meet in the middle from going from there is on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you're already out the door, you're sending your license back to the state, and 10 being you're totally financially free. How would you rank your real estate business? Ask a question and learn about them. So, Chantel, let's role play. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being you're already sending your license back, you're done, and 10 being you're financially free, how would you rate your real estate business?
7.
A 7. Excellent. So things are going well, and yet there's still room to grow. What would make it an 8 or even a 9?
I guess if I just had more buyers, more sellers right now, I really want to have more listings and I really want to have more buyers. Pretend I'm at Coldwell Banker.
More sellers, more listings, more buyers. So it looks like we're wanting to get more people, obviously, into the business, which is great. What tools might help you get there?
I don't know. I feel like maybe I need a better CRM that I have right now. What do you think?
Hey, better CRM. Well, what is the best CRM on the planet?
I don't know. We have a real archaic one that our company uses right now at Coldwell Banker.
Well, let me tell you, the best one on the planet is the one that you use. So if you're not liking that one, it's not working and you're resistant to using it, definitely should find you a better one that you'll actually use. What else might make that an 8 or a 9?
I guess I really need to spend more time on the phones. I'm just not, I don't really love cold calling buyers and sellers all day. I feel like I'm getting too old for that. And I just get exhausted with it. And I'm just making excuses, honestly, of not making the phone calls like I need to be honest.
So, and it sounds like there is an internal resistance to making those calls. Am I right?
Yes.
Do you also agree with me that there could be new ways of making those calls that would actually make it easier, maybe some different conversations? Are you open to that possibility?
Yeah, I would be.
And how about also being in an environment where like other people are doing it simultaneously? You're all working together, being in a little more uplifting environment. Might that help you as well?
Yeah, it would.
Well, from the way you're talking right now, Chantel, it sounds to me like you are an open-minded person. Am I right?
Yes.
So if there was a real estate company new to the market that had an amazing CRM, had new ways of communicating to help share and teach, in fact, offered coaching and training, as well as had collaborative work going where we're all rowing together, would you be open to learning about these revolutionary business models?
Oh my gosh, that's so good. I just loved all of that verbiage you just said. That was really good, Russ. That was awesome.
Well, we're going to them, first of all, to find out that there's need, because every single person you talk to, let's just go to real estate again. If you walk up to somebody and say, do you want to sell your house? And they don't want to sell, is their gate of change open or closed?
Closed.
It's rock solid closed. And it's the same with real estate agents. If their gate of change isn't open, then you can't force it open. And this is what's happening in recruiting all the time is people are attempting to recruit now, force the gates of change open now, because you've got a better thing than where they're at. And they're just not even going to pay attention. So I was telling Chantel before the meeting today, I just onboarded, I did application on Saturday for an agent that I've been working with since September 2021. So
Yeah,
we're
I
talking.
want it right now, and it doesn't happen right now.
No, I've poured into her. I've stayed in contact. I've followed up. I have used this model. So every time I talk to her, I'm reminding her that I know what's going on in her life by asking questions from the previous conversation, because I've got the notes. I can tell you how many agents are so impressed with what an incredible memory Coach Russ has. No, I don't have an incredible memory. I just log my notes in an incredible CRM.
So one of the things that I heard you say is that it is super important to have a CRM. And I will tell you, I have used every CRM out there. I've used Boomtown. I've used Followup Boss. I've used this one, that one, all of them. And my favorite is KV Core. Here at Canzel, we offer KV Core for no extra charge. So we give it to you. And if you went to go get KV Core by yourself, you'd be paying $700 to $900 a month for KV Core. So that is included with your tech fee here. And that is awesome. One of our core values is follow up, and follow up again. And that's really the secret is in the follow up. And no one wants to do it. They want to have that one, and then they're off to the new. And it's like they want to go, everyone wants to go an inch deep instead of 10 feet deep. And the magic happens when you go 10 feet deep. And everyone just wants to go an inch deep. And then they keep going an inch and an inch and an inch and an inch out wide instead of going deep. And the magic is in the deep, really.
Yeah, the other interesting part of that, to put a slightly different spin on it, is almost every single real estate agent I get to start with is a short-term thinker. Right now, what's right now, what's right now? And so I want to go to the real estate space to help break that, because the short-term thinking life in real estate looks like this. I have no money. I got to get going. I know I'm supposed to lead gen. I get on the phones. I knock doors. I work. I get a bunch of stuff in the pipeline. I get a bunch of pending. Okay, life's good. I stop doing it. I come down. I crash again. I get back into activity. And they're following this whole roller coaster cycle of real estate. So I utilize and teach a formula, and I won't go into the details of the formula, to get you to what is called the magic pending number. Every single one of you, if you've gone through and set a goal for the year for a 12-month window, I can do the math to pack into what I call your magic pending number. So let's just say your magic pending number is 3. Let's say you have a goal around 25 units. That's pretty much in the ballpark for that. And you have 0 right now. You are going to lead generate like a mad fool until you get to 3. And then I want you to get +1 and actually get to 4. So you have a bonus in the pipeline. And then you can shift from 8-10 hours a day of lead gen, lead follow-up, maybe to doing some more marketing and start building. Almost every single real estate agent and every brokerage teaches be marketing focused, or it can be prospecting focused. Keep lead genning, keep doing that. And when I coach a top agent who's been in the business 5-6 years, the number thing they want to do is get out of the business because they're burned out. Because all they've been doing is that. They are prospecting focused, marketing enhanced. You want to flip that script over time. When was the last time Nike called you and said, "Hey, Chantel, we got some awesome pink kicks that just came out. We know you want them. Come on down and buy them." Making those calls. They have a marketing focused business. It's the same thing in real estate. My partner at the brokerage I'm at is Mr. Don Hobbs. If any of you have been in the business 20, 30 years, you know the name Don Hobbs. He's the one that changed our industry from I wear the blue coat, I wear the red coat, I wear the gold coat, brokerage marketing to individual agent marketing. He's the one that did it. And so you get up to 4, you start now building your marketing. You're building your YouTube channel, your social media. You're building a system around it, though, so it happens consistently. You're doing maybe some direct mail. This still may then drop down. If it drops down to 2, you start panicking again and crank it up to 3 and get your bonus 4. And if you just focus on pending and staying there, and anytime you fall below your magic pending number, you get into massive action. You'll hit your goal every year, and you also won't have that fluctuation of income. It'll streamline it out. It'll balance it to a business, and you'll have less burnout. Plus, it builds the time for you to either work on the marketing and turning that side on, so you're getting the come list me calls, or if you're building a team or an organization like I am, it turns into the calls of, hey, let's talk about real estate brokerage rather than talking about real estate production. Was that helpful, Chantel?
So good. Yeah. I want to share 2 lines that that I say to people all the time. Number 1, I always say, are you open-minded about your business? And the thing about that question is, the reason why that's so good is because no one wants to say, yes, I'm closed-minded, right? Like, they're not going to be like, oh yeah, I'm really closed-minded. So most people are going to say yes. And then I also ask people, if you have to rank yourself about thinking about what you want now versus what you want most, or are you the type of person that's really focused on now, or are you interested in long-term wealth, thinking about more concerned about passive income? Or would you say you are more thinking about just the day-to-day, thinking about now, thinking about, am I closing this home or not? And asking them that question, you know, which way are you? Would you be more concerned about now, or would you say you're more concerned about your long-term wealth and what you want most? That question really does have people thinking. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I absolutely do. And the majority of folks in real estate are focused on the now. They have to be. They got bills to pay.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to support them in that place where they are. We're going to build that foundation to their business so they can make sure that that happens consistently. Then we can start building in the wealth creation. Now, passive income, I just want to put one note out there because I hear people talking about it all the time. It means you have to do nothing for it. So if you're thinking of buying rental houses for passive income, no, that might be some residual, yet you're still going to have to do some work. I know so many people right now that have had to do evictions, rebuilds, repairs. It's not truly passive. And so the folks that get financially free, they have true passive income that they are not required. If they go to the beach in Bali for a month, nothing's going to happen that affects their income.
You guys, we have so many free resources on joincanzel.com/free. First of all, there's daily checklists. There's how to triple your business. There's Facebook retargeting. There's 20 online lead generators completely free and 20 free social media posts. They're completely unbranded social media posts that you can use on your own personal feeds. So go to joincanzel.com/free and learn more. Well, we are so way over time. We are 11 minutes over time, but I have enjoyed my time with you so much. I just got so caught up and lost all track of time. But this has been amazing. If you can type in the chat right now, just how people can find you and where they can follow you so that if they ever want to get your coaching, I'd love for them to be able to do that. Go ahead.
So it's also, that's why I threw my last name into my title. There's only about 18 of us in the country. So if you search Colliau, the odds are high you'll find me. Of course, I'm on Facebook. You can grab me there. I'm on Instagram. I'm getting better. And you can always come to my MySpace page. I love that. It's my favorite place historically, right?
My husband, everyone asks actually how me and my husband meet. And actually, he said to me, sent me an email and he said, "Hey, I'd love to, take you out to lunch to pick your brain and kind of learn, how you got where you are in real estate." And I said, it was real cocky and arrogant, my response. I said, honestly, if I went out to lunch with everyone that wanted to just pick my brain, I would do nothing but just go out to lunch with people. And so I was like, maybe we can catch up after the first of the year. I'm really busy. It was like really some kind of mean response that I said. It wasn't mean, but it was just kind of like a shoo away response. And then he was like, well, I checked you out on MySpace and saw that you are Christian and saw that you're single. And he's like, I'm a Christian and I'm single too. And I'd love to take you out on a date. That's actually how we met.
You guys all have my name. Feel free to reach out. I'll watch for friend requests. I'm getting close to 5,000 again. So if it bounces on that, I'll clear some space for you. Let's connect. I am in the process of building a page for scripts and dialogues for everybody. So I'll be posting about that as that gets launched. So you'll have access to all the conversation models I use. And I would love to hear from you what challenges you're having so I can build conversation around those for you. So appreciate you letting me come play. Anything else you need from me, Chantel?
No, that's it. Thank you so much. Let's show him some love in the chat. And this was amazing. We're so grateful that you came on with us today.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a rating and a review so we can get this out to more agents. And tune in next week for another power-packed episode. This is the Millionaire Real Estate Podcast.